everybody, welcome back. Last time we looked at the Retro Duo Portable, and this time I'm going to look at the Retro Duo Portable's Nintendo adapter. Last time I only looked at Super Nintendo games. This time I'm going to take a look at what NES games look like on the system. I'm going to hook it to the TV, check it out. As you can see, it's not a very big piece of plastic, but it will stick out quite far. Also, it's very tough to push your games in and get them to work the first time, just like an NES. So you may have to clean your games a few times to get it to work. See there, you gotta push it down. Also, it's really flimsy. It doesn't hold in very well because there's the gap around. Turn this on, you can see it flickers a little bit there, but here it is. Screen's up, and luckily it didn't flash or blink or any weird things come up like a dirty cartridge would. See, it works pretty good. Graphics look pretty crisp and clean on this screen. See, the animations look nice, just like any NOAC, sorry, Nintendo on a chip. So you can see that it plays pretty good. You can bring up the menus. It's hard to play looking through the viewfinders, you can see. Alright, try a different game here. Now here's the part I want to show you. Look how hard this, I am pulling as hard as I can here, and I can't quite get it apart. It's really tough, so I've figured out a better way. Just turn the cartridge and push with your thumbs up, right like that, and it pops out. Those pins in there are very tight because they're new. I'd imagine over time they'll start to get a little bit easier. Just like the Duo itself was very tough at the beginning, but I've played quite a few games in it. It's not as bad anymore. You can see here when I turn on Mario Brothers that you get that issue with the white screen, just like a dirty cartridge in your original NES or the pad pin connector. It's pull it in, try it again, same thing. So now it's pull it out of the hard to put your game in connector. Again, that time I was able to get it, but a lot of times you have to use that technique. Blew it out, put it back in, check it out, and there we go. There's Super Mario Brothers. Looks pretty good again on the screen. It's pretty crisp, clean, very playable. The D-pad, I've noticed a little bit more of the issues that others have complained about on Nintendo games as opposed to Super Nintendo games. It's a little more finicky when two buttons at the same time are pushed down. Two directions, I should say. But other than that, it seems to be pretty good. Next game to try is Legend of Zelda, which is a battery-backed game. And I'll show you a little more on that later. A little bit of an issue I had. But looks good on the screen. Everything playable again. I've yet to find an NES game that didn't work. You can see there's two saves here. Remember that. I start the game up. Plays just fine with the D-pad. Actually seems very smooth. Even more so than the original NES, if that's even possible. Now I'll take a look at what it looks like on a TV set as opposed to just the handheld screen. Oh my god, the colors are off. I do not remember Legend of Zelda looking that orange. Very crisp and vibrant, and it could be a little bit to do with the TV settings. I'll have to check. But other than that, it looks really good. The graphics are crisp and clean. I did not use the original AV adapter that came with it. You need to get a better one. The one that came with it introduces a lot of noise. There's not a lot of shielding going on. It only has all the wires going through one wire to the end, where I'm using one here that splits off all individual out to the TV set. Either way, you can see that it looks pretty good and it plays really well. There's no problem playing this game like this. And just for fun, I thought I'd throw in DuckTales, take a look, see what the differences were. As you can see, the colors are a little more vibrant. I don't know if it's a bad thing or if it's the TV, but there's nothing wrong with the way it sounds or plays. A lot of these Nintendo on a chip systems, the sounds are off. This one's not as bad as I've heard before. Now, I don't have Castlevania 3 to really give it the test, but from what I understand, it is off, and you have to do a little bit of a trick to get the music to play just right. But on DuckTales, completely playable. Now, this game, the controller, on the handheld itself, really you can tell that there's an issue with the D-pad. I was a little disappointed in the way it felt. But when you hook up a secondary D-pad or original NES, Super NES controller to the adapter, it plays just the same. There's a little look at the difference. Looks pretty good on both. but the TV seems a little too orange. Next time, I'm going to take a look at the RetroGen adapter that lets you play Genesis games on a Retro Duo Portable or your regular Super NES.